Long ago, in the lush valleys of Jamaica, surrounded by the towering blue mountains, there lived a woman named Annabelle. She was neither wealthy nor powerful, but her heart overflowed with kindness. Annabelle was a healer, tending to the sick with her herbal remedies, and a storyteller who filled children's evenings with wonder. She listened to the whispers of the earth, guiding farmers on when to plant and harvest. Her home, a humble thatched cottage surrounded by a vibrant garden, was a sanctuary of peace. She lived there with her husband, Daniel, and their 2 children, Abigail and Samuel, a family bound by love and laughter. Annabelle's generosity earned her the admiration of many, but also the envy of some. Over time, whispers began to spread. She is too wise, some said. She must be a witch. Jealousy and fear gave rise to lies, and soon, Annabelle's kindness was twisted into accusations of sorcery. One fateful night, the villagers' fear reached a boiling point. A mob, armed with torches and hatred, marched to Annabelle's home. "Witch," they cried. "She has cursed our fields." Inside, Annabelle held her children close as Daniel bolted the door. The flames of the mob's torches cast eerie shadows on the walls. "We must leave," Daniel urged, his voice shaking. But the mob was relentless. They set fire to the house, their anger consuming reason. Smoke filled the air, and the flames roared. Daniel broke a window, pushing Abigail and Samuel through first. "Run to the river," he shouted. Annabelle climbed out after them, her heart pounding with fear. But as Daniel began to follow, the roof caved in, trapping him inside. Annabelle screamed, her voice piercing the night as the inferno swallowed her home. Outside, the villagers stood silent, watching the destruction they had wrought. Annabelle knelt in the dirt, clutching her children, her tears falling like rain. As the embers cooled, a sudden gust of wind swept through the valley. Annabelle thought she saw shadows moving within the ruins. Daniel and their children, Abigail and Samuel, their faces calm and glowing faintly in the dark. "Annabelle," Daniel's voice came, steady and gentle. "We will protect you, but you must live, for the children and for the kindness the world still needs." Before she could respond, their spirits formed a radiant barrier, shielding her from the wrath of the villagers. A blinding light burst from the ruins, forcing the mob to flee in terror. When dawn broke, Annabelle was alone. Her family had saved her, but they were gone. The pain of her loss was unbearable. She wandered the mountains, her heart heavy with sorrow. The betrayal of those she had once loved and the sight of her home reduced to ashes twisted her spirit. Though grief consumed her, Annabelle's love for the innocent remained. She whispered blessings to the land, helping crops grow and guiding lost travelers to safety. But her pain gave rise to a darker side. Those who approached her with greed or malice found themselves cursed, and tales of her vengeance spread across the island. Her once kind eyes were now shadowed by sorrow, and her pale skin glowed like the moon. The villagers began to call her the White Witch, speaking her name in both fear and awe. Across the ocean, in the ancient kingdom of Ife, a powerful Yoruba priestess named Adetala received a vision from the goddess Umoja. A great darkness stirred in the distant land of Ominla, the Great Waters. A spirit, born of love and turned to vengeance, threatened to unbalance the world. Umoja guided Adetala to the shores of Jamaica to restore harmony. Adetala sailed across the Atlantic in a mystical canoe, arriving in the land where the White Witch roamed. She climbed the misty blue mountains, where the air grew colder with each step. Inside a shadowy cave, she found the White Witch. "Why have you come, Yoruba woman?" the White Witch demanded, her voice sharp and bitter. "I have come to bring balance," Adetala said calmly. "Your pain is great, but your vengeance harms the innocent. Let me help you find peace." The White Witch laughed bitterly. "There is no peace for me. The world is cruel, and I will make it suffer as I have suffered." Adetala began to chant an incantation taught to her by Umoja. The winds howled, and the ocean roared as she summoned the spirits of the ancestors. From the depths of the cave, a soft light emerged, an image of Annabelle's family, smiling and whole. Annabelle fell to her knees, her fiery eyes now brimming with tears. "My family. I have missed them so much. They await you in the spirit world," Adetala said gently. "But you must let go of your anger and allow your soul to rest." The White Witch hesitated, but the sight of her family filled her with longing and relief. She closed her eyes and let out a mournful wail that echoed through the mountains. Her body dissolved into a gentle mist, carried away by the wind. With the White Witch gone, the land began to heal. Crops flourished, and the people no longer lived in fear. Adetala returned to Ilefe, her heart heavy yet fulfilled, knowing she had restored harmony across the waters. To this day, the people of Jamaica tell stories of a kind Yoruba priestess who freed their land from the curse of the White Witch. They say Annabelle's spirit, now at peace, watches over the island, reminding all of the power of love, loss, and forgiveness.